So AgWorks made some changes to the interface with AgOS. Makes it a little easier to take soil tests. I thought I'd walk you through that. Um, First thing you're going to want to do in the interface is go find the field that you want, bring up your boundary. Even if I've got grids over here that I want to hit, um, I'm still going to find my field boundary, right click on it, hit add, and hit a test grid. So this is a fairly small field. There's 70, but you can see I get a whole bunch of points just because we're still working with a grid system. This slider will go up to 5. Generally, that helps us, but it's kind of cumbersome and slow. You still have to go in and delete the points one by one. What trick I learned the other day from Cody Appleford actually was you hit this up arrow and it'll just migrate the points out of there. You don't have to click them out like you would before. So once you get to whatever grid size you want, like if I want only 2 points, I just did it there, or 3 points. I can see them right there. Click OK. I like to start with a clean grid every time, so I just click on them, left click on them, and they'll disappear. And then I can see that I've got a clean border. That's where that purple line is, and that's where I'm going to lay my points. Now, if I want to go back to where I was before, and I've got a grid, all I got to do is just click onto them, and they'll come up. Fire up my GPS. If you got questions on GPS, there's another video on how to do that. Drive out to the field, and then you can just left click to drop your point. Now, you may or you may not get a error here. Well, it's not really an error, it's a question. And it will ask you if you want to reset the grid. What that's asking is, it's asking if you want to start over, like right there. So if you've made a mistake, like I've dropped that point too close to the other one or something, the mathematic, it's calculating something that it doesn't like to see. It'll ask me if I want to start over. All you have to do is continue, is to say no, I don't want to reset the grid. And every time you click, it'll drop a point if you have the finger. Then you can just drag them over there. I like to stack them side by side just so that I can see that I've been there. Like so. Once you get all your points lined up where you want, if you can remember you've been there, I like a visual symbol, so I'll do my soil points and then I'll go back and just zoom in and move them to where, so that they're right on top of each other. So I'll stick them right there. Once I've got them where I want, all you have to do is right click and hit save, and it'll add your soil test over here with the date that it was done. Now, if you've got a really big field, you run into some problems because we had some of this spring that you had fields that were over 800 acres and it would just literally crash the system when it tried to calculate, grids for it. So like this romaine field here, it's 800 and some acres, which it would take a huge amount. But when you look at the grids on it, they're all really tight right up here in this upper corner. So what you can do is, to limit the amount of processing time, just make yourself a management zone. Add a contour under it. Bring up your points. And then just draw a little boundary around that. once you've got that there, instead of gridding the whole field, you just right click on this, hit add, test grid, and it'll just grid that. Same deal, same thing works here. You just push them out till they're gone. You'll have just one point in there. And so you can move these around. Like I said, you can put them on top of each other if you want. Just left click, it'll drop one, and then you can just move it to where you want it. And again, that's just asking me if I want to start over, which I don't. So then I've just got my 4 points on there. Again, right click, save. And it's going to show up over here that I took a test. But I just used the management zone to minimize the amount of acres that it took to do it. Just to speed things up. So that's about it. The GPS, like I said, there's another video on it on how to get that set up and running. If that gives you any trouble, please give me a call. This is pretty easy. Eventually we'll have something different, but this is just kind of a refinement over what we did this spring. So, like I said, got any questions, get a hold of me. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later.